Hey, Kliq This fans, want to get closer to the show than ever? Join Kliq This TV. Kliq This TV offers early commercial-free access to wrestling's hottest podcast, plus live audience tapings of their show every friggin' week. Head to kliqthistv.com now and get inside the show that's just too sweet.
The following podcast contains mature language and adult discussion.
Problem with weight loss is the clothing, Kevin. Kliq This, the Kevin Nash podcast. I'm Sean, complaining again at the top of the show, talking to Kevin Nash, the titular head of Kliq This. You know what it is now, because once you commit to the weight loss, and it looks like you're staying in that direction, the wardrobe has to be. I am wearing what I could only describe as it's tent-like now. It wasn't last season. It was not. It's not a new shirt. But I mean, it's so flowy and floral. I feel like a Nantucket lesbian right now.
What happens is it slowly turns into from a shirt to a blouse.
That's what I mean. I'm very blouse-like. You know, and with the short hair, I should be wearing Birkenstocks. Although Birkenstocks are cool now, I guess. So, yeah, I'm going to have to shop yet again. You know, so proud of my weight loss, right? My daughter last night is on this thing called Akinator. On, I don't know, it's an app or something. And what it is you get a celebrity in your head, and you try to get the thing to guess it. It starts asking you general questions. Is he an athlete? Has he been in movies? Is he over 6'5"? And by your answers, it narrows down and then says you're thinking of Kevin Nash, right? So they're playing with this, and they decide they're going to get me. I get to the question. My daughter gets to the question. I'm like, okay, how'd you do it? She's like, well, it's kind of funny. I had to say yes to the is this person chubby question. Steve, go on my Instagram. It's there. Legitimately. So I'm like, that was one of the paths that got you to guess my name? So the internet thinks I'm fat. How does that happen? Is it by visuals? Is it because I talk about my weight loss? How does AI think I'm fat? So there's the guess, but the question was this. Go to the second slide. Is your character chubby? Question number 17. She said yes to it, which I should have fucking smacked her for that. But and that's how it got it.
Well, when you look like a sperm with a fucking hat on, and that's who's coming at you, I'm not too worried about it.
It's all about public perception.
Matahari fucking sperm ball.
To the Akinator people, you'd say, was he once heavier than he should be, and is he now not? How you should word that. Speaking of public perception, Kev, we've talked about JADE extensively. You're a big fan. And she talked about you this week. I know you didn't see this, so this is a bit of
No, I have not seen this.
This is a bit of a surprise. So
I don't know if I want to see this.
There was nothing bad. Or maybe it'll.
Well, we were just talking about it here a little bit. You like Kevin Nash a lot. You've had some good interactions with him, I think, and stuff like that. Talk about your experience with him and what he's maybe told you and everything.
Yeah, just being very supportive. You know, one of the things was my mother actually passed away this past December, and he was one of the people that was like, you know, just take your time, like breathe, like you got this. It's not your time. And because I was so in my head about, you know, like the timing is so awful, like oh my gosh. And he's one of the people that had the most sound advice for me, and just how to keep my head up and to keep going and just take my time.
That's it. Pace yourself. It's a tough
Yeah,
thing to adjust to.
yes,
I
of
can
course,
only
of course, of
imagine.
course.
Yeah.
So his advice and just being a supporter from day one. Like he's always been a supporter of me. Like he's like, hey, go out there and do this. And I know one of the things he gave me as far as advice was about my jacket. He
Yeah.
was like, he said, you should not take off your jacket on the ramp. You should wait until you get in the ring and take off your jacket. And I try to follow that, but you know, I have people that are higher than me that was like, take off your jacket
Really?
in the entrance.
Really?
Yeah. And now I don't even wear a jacket. So
Hey, it all balances out.
Yeah. So and I was trying to implement that in my entrance. So it was great advice.
That's
So, Kev, she listens. The jacket thing wasn't her decision. That was a higher up that made her do that. Was that on this show? I don't even remember.
No, that was on AEW.
Right, but I mean, did we mention it?
No, I DM her stuff. I mean, we follow each other, so I DM her stuff. And like there's people that you see that are just money. And when she came out on AEW's show, and you could tell she was an athlete. I mean, she's got the most unbelievable abdominal development.
I've seen them.
And she's had a kid, you know. She just said she looks like a Marvel superhero to me.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, I just thought she was so money, and I wasn't wrong. Like she's money, you know.
Yeah.
And she's a sweetheart. She's
Always
a good
helps.
mom, and she's really one of the things when she travels, she always goes to cemeteries. Like when she was in Tokyo, she went to like an old cemetery in Tokyo. Like, like she digs going to old cemeteries and just checking them out. And I think that's kind of I just remember growing up, man, because I was at the cemetery every Sunday. And,
like for a spiritual, like a grounding type thing? We'll have to get her on the show and ask.
Yeah, we'd have to get more in depth with it. I just know that there's I think that she goes and kind of like, you just because I used to do this. I don't know if she does the same thing. Maybe she does, maybe she doesn't. But I would go and I would always see, especially like the ones that had the husband and the wife both had deceased, and they had the little, like they bought the plot, and then like his plaque went on, then her plaque went on. And now it's just sitting there in disarray, and the people were born in 1879 and died in 53, and it's this thing's sitting there, and it's turned like a different color than any other gravestones out there, and they're all, I think all the headstones have to be brass, and they're inlaid. You can't have anything because they mow the thing. It's called Michigan Memorial Cemetery, and I used to always like walk around and look at the gravestones and then wonder, like, what the people looked like, and yeah.
I got a question for you since we're on this. Dealing with death at a young age. I did also. I had, my father passed, but I was already 14, almost 15. You were much younger. Now, when I was young, I was 9, I think, or 10, my favorite uncle committed suicide. So it was a sudden and violent revelation to a little kid.
That's a different world.
But hold on. Did you, because of your father's death, begin to have this preoccupation with the mystery of death?
Absolutely.
Like
I don't see how you
went
can't.
there so early. Like I'd see an ambulance and I'd be like, was that the one he was in? Is his blood still in it? Like, I know that sounds morbid to people, but when you're a kid, so I was wondering if you kind of
and like I'm so old. The ambulance, when it came to your house, was basically just a station wagon.
Mm-hmm.
And I remember the first person that died in our neighborhood was Mrs. Ketter.
She's gone?
She had a stroke.
Fuck.
and they went like Superior Ambulance was the the Detroit area ambulance company. I think they still are one of, but they came to the end of the road, and she came like they went in to work on her, in 66 probably.
Mm-hmm.
I don't know what they did, give her a shot of penicillin.
She's probably just hungry.
Yeah. I mean,
That's the Italian ambulance. She's just hungry.
Yeah.
Give us some food.
Give her a baguette. So, but anyway, when she came out, her hand was like laying like outside of the covering, and it was already like turning color.
And you never. Oh
And
boy, that
no,
burns right in,
man.
bro.
Just that whole, and them kind of jerking to get the wheels up, like back up, and I'm like, ugh. And then to watch your own son on a backboard get wheeled out of your house into the back of a fucking ambulance.
Well, that's totally different.
Yeah, but I'm
level
just
right
saying,
there.
it's just
That's-
once you get, once you decide to play the death game, I mean, I think it's, what is more thought-provoking than that? Because the whole Christian belief system is based on that. It's based on eternal life.
Mhm.
Because God created Christ in His image, and He can absolve us of sin, and God gave His Son up on the cross so we could have eternal life. So, I mean,
And then as a youngster, it
as a youngster,
it preoccupies you.
I just knew, because my dad went to church, and my dad always put a couple of beans in the pot. So I was figuring, oh, the old man's smart, man. He went ahead, he did the.
He invested.
Yeah, he got in ground floor.
I remember the uncle in question. He jumped off a building, and the 23rd floor was the top floor, and he lived with my grandfather.
He didn't work for Trump, did he?
No, nope. Oh God, I forgot about it. And like from after football practice, when we'd sit in the bleachers of the stadium, and like get our notes or whatever they called it. But yeah, I played football. I know. It's just a couple of years, but I could see all the way across the city on the Hudson River their building, and like the sun would sometimes, it would be evening, or sun was going down, and it would hit like that top floor, and I'd see it, and I should be sitting there enjoying football practice, listening to the coach or whatever, but I'm looking at the building that he jumped off of, and I'm there. And when I walk in a parade as a Boy Scout and I see the ambulance, I already told you I went to the ambulance. It just preoccupies so much of you. And
could you imagine? I had a dream. There's a place down here called the Peck Tower. It's a round building. I think it's the tallest building down there. I think it's 32 or 33 floors. There might be one that down in Daytona Beach proper that's. But I had a dream once. They have a they used to have a revolving restaurant on the top of it. And the dream was that I fell out of this I was like leaning back on the window, and the window just fucking like popped open that way, and I went back. And like slow motion, and I fucking hit, and it was like bam, and I could feel it.
Holy shit.
Like I could feel it in my dream how hard I hit. And I'm laying there, and I'm like, oh, fuck, man, I'm alive. That wasn't so bad. And I kind of get my fucking wits about me, and I look, and fucking one of my legs is like laying over there.
Oh, wow.
And I look down, and I'm missing my leg, and I'm missing this fucking hand. Like it fucking, like I'm all fucked. I'm just destroyed.
How old were you when you would have these?
Oh no, I had this dream fucking like 10 years ago, and fucking just woke up out of bed like, oh, I was just like, fuck. And now it's like I'll have dreams where fucking in my dream I'll get someplace, I'll be on a ledge or something, and like my fucking subconscious will be like, dude, we already know what happens when you fall. Get
From the other dream.
yeah, like it tells me it tells me I'm probably not going into REM sleep, but I can control my fucking mental thoughts when I'm unconscious.
That leaning back at the restaurant, going out the window and falling 20 stories is almost as bad an experience as Hyde Park when we ate there.
We're gonna try it again.
Yeah, we'll try it again.
Gotta give it round 2.
Yeah.
So
It'll be on me, so I don't have any guilt this time. I want you to meet my kids too, man.
I want to meet your kids.
Yeah.
I want to meet the star.
Yeah, fucking
Mia.
rained out again tonight, man. we're gonna get this goddamn Betty. It's coming right the fuck for us.
Is it really?
Yeah, I'm looking at the path. It's probably it'll be done by. I think it'll be done by early Saturday. So my flight out is Sunday. Hopefully,
it's
not
been
too
a
fucked up.
motherfucker, man.
It's summer. What do we deal with in summer? But speaking of summer, I saw you in the Legends box at Summerslam.
Much to my chagrin.
Well, it wasn't to your chagrin. You were there. I think the schedule might have been to your chagrin.
No, I loved being there. I loved being a part of the event. It's just mind-boggling to me. It's mind-boggling to sit in a box and look out, and if I didn't know better, put it this way, they did 57,791 people for SummerSlam. The Stones were in that same arena stadium, I think the weekend before, and they did 41,000.
Right. No, business is on fire. What they've done with their live events.
It's just it's unbelievable. And every fucking buddy's got merch shit on.
Mm-hmm.
You know, like people got merch is selling. Like somebody told me that they did 17, maybe I'll just say 1,800 signed Roman Reigns streak belts. All right. And I don't know what they sold for because I can't do the math in my head, but in 1 hour's time they sold out and to $800,000. So $800,000 divided by 18 is what?
Before you make me do math,
or 1,800.
Does Roman now when he has to sign something because he had to sign 1,800 pieces, right? That's separate from what he's getting as his guarantee?
Yes.
Okay. And a piece of the merch, like the NWO stuff, or what am I looking at there? 444,000.
Okay, now I'm sorry, I meant do 800,000 divided by 1,800. Because that would be
You're looking for per item,
per item.
Cost
I'm
per
looking
item.
for per item cost. He had to write his name and probably how many ever days it was.
So $444.
Okay.
How long is the run 444? Because that would have been pretty brilliant right there.
No, the run was 1,000 plus days.
Right. Oh yeah, because it would only been over a year if it was 444.
It was just shy. He was just shy of being modern day like I think Hulk still has a longer run than he does. Guys, my wrestling's.
We did this before. To the day we had the info
Yes.
when we were prepared to talk about that.
Hogan has got a longer reign.
Yeah. So okay, so you get to the event. So when do you have to come to the event? They're starting at 7.
They originally asked this. They told me they're going to send a car for me at 2.
Okay.
And I said,
It's a lot of walking around backstage.
Well, it's one of those things, man. It's just like I just don't do orders real well anymore. Demands, you know. It's like when somebody's coming out to your house to do something and you're going to pay them money, and you tell them like,
they flew you first
yeah,
class.
they flew me first
put you
class.
up.
No, but I did a couple of hours of documentary work on Friday night.
Oh.
Yeah, wasn't it? No, you don't get flown in and get a
just to watch the event.
Corner suite. No, you
for the one shot of the Legends box.
You're up there doing work for 23 different A&E things that are in the mix. No, it's and I'm glad that they called me. I was more than happy to go. I had a great time with the production crew. We went over my entire career, and I got to talk about my career. And they were doing this they were taping it, and I guess that mine was severely different than everybody else's.
In that what?
I don't give a fuck. Like,
But how would that come across? You mean in your demeanor?
I think that it came across when we were talking about my career. It came across more like stand up than it did actual like.
Kind of like Who Killed WCW, I guess it's going to be the same vibe. Maybe.
Nah, way more me, because I was playing a character on the WCW thing. This is me. This is just me. Put it this way: at the end of because this will never make the air. But at the end of the thing, the guy looks at me and he goes, "He's real, just dead serious. We've been laughing the whole fucking 2 hours." And I'd like sidebar and say, "Okay, this don't run the tape." And then I tell him a fucking, a story that fucking, that very few people would know. And then they'd fucking die on that. And I said, "That's why I can't talk about this match this way." And, so we're going back and forth. So finally, at the end of it, the guy looks at me and says, "After watching this for the last couple hours, what does it make you feel like, this reminiscing your career?" And I said, "Well, I've never been sodomized that I recall." I said, "But probably if I was in some kind of a penal colony and I was sodomized religiously."
Penal colony sodomized.
Yeah.
I get it.
I said probably that kind of a feeling. And they just that was it. They says, "Fuck it, like we're done," and they just busted out laughing. And because I'd point out shit here and there, like during the singing, and I'd be like, "Yeah, this is how they fucked me this night. This is how this got fucked," like, and it's like we got to the match with me and Brett at Survivor Series, and I said, "Isn't it fucking a shame when you look back at your career and you think about your most favorite match? It's the night you lost the title." Doesn't that speak volumes? Like, and then people come back with all these negative things, like the quad thing is so. The quad
no
thing
gas
is
left in that.
it's now what it is to me. It's like. It's the 60 IQs that have that still. So man, if you see one of those, they've got to be erased from having any access to you whatsoever. They've got to be blocked. Anybody that liked their fucking thing, that's got to be blocked. I don't want it. I don't care if I got 11 followers or fucking 84 billion followers. I don't monetize anything. So it's like, I don't know.
So keeping to Summerslam.
I just one thing here, man. Just in case people were wondering what my shirt said. It says Oakland in his house. I believe that would be a rendition of the White House. which would mean Oakland, where Vice President, soon to be President-elect Kamala Harris will be calling her crib. That was
Just
my
needed to ensure some
that
comments.
that was
under
my Andrew Dice fucking Clay in his prime, going over a little. Would you like to fucking touch my bird?
That's good. That's a very good Dice. Do you follow him on Instagram? He's very funny. He does this man on the street stuff. Like, he's got some balls. He approaches people in the airports and shit. I would never do that. Just do just do concerts, and I'd be happy with it. But that's
the dude that fucking he got one the other day. The guy says, "Yeah, CNN's fake news." He says, "Oh yeah, well, tell me about what makes it fake news." The guy says, "Fake news." He says, "Yeah, but what exactly about it?" And the guy goes, turns around, looks at him, goes, "I don't know. I don't watch it." He goes, "You don't watch it, but it's fake news? How would you know it's fake news?" And the guy they have this like 2001, 2002, 2003, and the guy
and he just walked off.
Yeah.
I saw. But that wasn't him though. That was
that's his partner. There's two of them.
I forget his fucking name. But yeah, no, that was brilliant. I want to get back to SummerSlam though. The reason, listen, anybody out there with their very timely SummerSlam coverage can give their opinion of Cody Rhodes' match. But you were an invited legend, spent some time backstage. That's what this is. That's the interesting part of this. We all saw the same thing on TV, but we didn't see what you did from 2 or whenever the hell you left the hotel.
Right. No, I got there around probably 4:20.
Yeah, so, RVD. Yeah, RVD. Sorry.
But
4:20, I got to go for it.
I say I didn't even make it. I didn't even correlate the reference. That's what time I looked at my watch when I got there. But immediately, the first thing is you go directly to catering. That's like wrestling 101, because you can always tell the health of the wrestling business and the degree of catering.
That's just, you gauge the company's success by the spread.
Absolutely. So if I would have walked into the bottom of that Cleveland Browns stadium, there would have been a couple of loaves of bread and some cold cuts and some cheese with some mayonnaise and mustard, and they just told me to make a sandwich.
It's 1995, brother.
I'd say like 93, 94, 95. But no, it's. But
so
the thing, catering was good, but the catering to the Legends box was magnificent. They had a blend wine in there. Of course, I'm not drinking. Probably rated 89. It's that DAOU, I think it's the Diao or whatever. It's at that winery, São Paulo. But they had a blend that they make that was a good bottle of wine.
Mm.
So I got to watch Sergeant Slaughter drink it.
What about in catering downstairs? Who do you sit by? Do you just walk in and just?
Well,
drop
I saw like Jeremy Boresh. I saw. So I haven't seen him in forever. We did all that paparazzi stuff together.
Right, that's right.
Yeah, Jeremy and I have always been friends, and he works kind of hand in hand with Paul now. So I sat down with Jeremy, and he kind of caught me up on everything that was going on from a production moving forwards type thing. He showed me some amazing AI that they have that they can they can take a picture, a still picture, and they can make it like move for 8 seconds. And then they can take an AI figure, and so he showed me one that was really incredible. And it's somebody that had passed, and to see this person move and to see the as they got closer to because it was coming like this way into the camera the face was, and to see the facial expression change to one of anger and almost rage, and have really never have seen that aspect of that human, which is like, whew. So we looked at that, and I was just amazed at how fast shit's moving, and that's something that nobody that reported about SummerSlam saw except me.
Exactly. That's why we're here today.
Because
what do you think they'll use that for?
I immediately said, how long before the boys just come in fucking here and do fucking voiceovers?
Animate the damn match.
What
do you think they'll use that for? Openings or entrances? I mean,
I think that what it basically is, because sometimes you'll see a figure of somebody and they'll move, and all of a sudden, like as they during that 8 seconds they're posing, as their head goes up, all of a sudden the face changes. Like the AI, just doesn't have it just completely right yet. So you can see that there's some kinks here and there, but I mean, you can see just off somebody's phone. Of course, this isn't this is something that's, and this is like showing something that shot at the Atlas rocket in 1965. This is I'm sure they're way ahead of what they're doing now, but no, it's amazing that they're always evolving.
Yeah.
Like that company is just, and for AEW has their place. There are times I enjoy watching it, but I mean,
Tony Khan is scrambling to pull out his checkbook right now and contact the nearest AI development studio after listening to the podcast.
Yeah, but you have to know what fucking. You have to know. You have to know how to get somebody over. Like, if you've never been, if you've never been over, like, how do you program a show to get somebody over if you've never been over?
Do you get, when you go to, let's just take SummerSlam. When you go to SummerSlam, are you curious to know at all about what's going to happen that night?
I don't want to know any finishes.
Or you just want to know, like, if there's going to be a run-in, or if someone's...
No,
like,
I want to watch.
I just want to watch
it. I just want to watch it.
Right, like a fan.
Yeah. No, I don't want to. I had... I talked to the person that put together the Punk, McIntyre, Seth Rollins match.
Who's producing the matches now? Does everything come from Paul, or are there still talent agents?
There's talent agents. There's agents.
Okay.
So I was talking to the person that put that one together, and I said, don't tell me. I said, but just tell me if I'm kind of right. And I kind of laid out what I thought the finish would be. And he said, yeah, like, yeah, you could say that. I had more of a fucking, like, it'd be more of a fuck than just a flat out,
So how many agents are over there now?
I don't know. Fuck him. I think there's one per match.
Wow.
That's 7 matches.
Yeah.
And then I know that I'm sure that top guys could still go to Paul for to get. I think because Paul's so hands-on, though, also is the top guys and everyone else on the card feels the freedom to say, what exactly do you want from me out of this? So
how, we talk about wrestling enough on this show that we cover everybody on the roster in one fashion or another, whether it's just a flippant comment like, yeah, no, I didn't watch that, I skipped that match or whatever. So is there anybody that you anticipated might talk to you about advice that you may have given in your own unique way on the air here?
I purposely, when I sat down in the I went and got it. You always come in. It's like prison, man. You get your fucking food. You know, you just walk in, you get your food. You're not glad handing. You know, I'm not coming into the politic. I'm coming in to get a plate of food. And then as you sit, as you look for some place to sit, now you fucking scope out. Now you know who's where. So you eat your fucking meal, and that person who might think that you got something to say to them, or you know, your friends are gonna fucking interact with you. And they're my two friends were. I had Sean Waltman with me, so my other two friends were running the show, so they weren't in the cafeteria.
They were busy.
Yeah, they were busy working. And remind me to tell you this unbelievably great scene that I saw with Paul and his two daughters. But I looked over my shoulder and I saw LA Knight was sitting at a table. So I went over and I said hi to the guys at that table, and none of them I'd ever met before. I don't know if I'd met Theory was there. I don't know if I'd met him or not, because I met some guys at NXT, but I can't remember like that because there used to be a lot of guys down there, and then it's hard to tell when they I think Theory's too young. I think that I just have seen him on TV, but it was so LA Knight was sitting at the end of the table, and I sat down on the table behind him. He turned around, and I just said to him, I said, "So you finally get if I can go over tonight?" He goes, "Something like that." And then we talked, and I asked, because he was working with Logan Paul, I just asked him how it was to work with Paul. You know, like, is he a natural? Is he paint by numbers? Do you gotta fucking keep him, you know? And he gave me his opinion on how he handled the situation. Not for me to explain on this show, because I don't want fucking Logan Paul and his relationship to be either fucking, you know, verified or injured by a comment that I make that I might have construed differently than was meant to be said to me. But no, he seemed like a really nice guy. You know, there was no heat between us.
And no reference to the maybe even playful jousting that
because at that point, nobody fucking is trying to hurt anybody in this business. Like, I wasn't trying to take food off his table.
I mean, it was important enough that something went into a promo.
Well, it's also other people have mocked my words to him in promos on their television. So I'd rather be the guy being talked about than the guy not being talked about. That's just the way I look at it. Okay. And if I'm talking about you, then it means, because I can talk about anybody I want to in wrestling. There's a bunch of dead guys I could talk shit about that could never fucking rebuttal anything. But to meet, you know, this new breed of guys, you know, I'm not trying to fucking piss anybody off, man. I want that company to fucking excel.
No, of course, but just because there was some back and forth, I was wondering.
Yeah, we were cool. I'll tell you a great one was I ran into Kane, and Kane and I were like the last two guys in the gym on Saturday morning, and there was I could just kind of feel. We said hi earlier, but there were a bunch of people in there. It was just me and him, and I said, I hope you realize that, like, we're still cool, even though I'm like super fucking, Democrat guy.
You went there.
Yeah, because that's important. Because if you come on this show and your viewpoint is, I have a lot of friends that are Democrats and we don't talk fucking politics. Well, I wanted him to know that was the case, that we were cool. Like, because I haven't had a chance. I know he's not watching my podcast, and so I said, "Are you done? Are you going to go for a seat, in Congress or?" And he said, "I'm term." He said, "When this runs through," he said, "I'm termed out with the mayor of Knox County or whatever." And I said, "So you have no desire to go at a national level?" He just looked at me as only he could, and he's like fucking salt of the earth kind of guy. He just looked at me and goes, "Kev, it's a real fucking dirty business." And for him to say that to me, I was just like, oh, like, it just, because that's okay. I go to Summerslam, I get a completely different perspective because I'm in it and backstage and talking to the guys. To be with somebody that's politically stood next to Donald Trump for a PR photo, and then to have a conversation with him, and for him just to say that it's just a fucking nasty business.
Mm-hmm.
I just I don't know. I like this fucking wall, cat.
It is dirty. It's a shit show, and it's tough to navigate. I have friends in politics, and it's just it is a game. It's a giant board game.
Once you find out that fucking all these fucking old fucking men fucking share private planes, and they all sit in the same place. We got the little.
The overarching thing that I get from seeing a little bit from the inside is that there is nothing that's spontaneous. Everything is decided beforehand. And even people on a.
Do you think Walz commented on if Vance will get off the couch? Do you think that was?
I can appreciate that. I don't mind a little bit of salacious humor in my politicians.
And then somebody said that they were dogging him out because he looked older than 60. Did you see what his response was?
No, I said something to you about that. But.
He said, "You do 20 years as the monitor of the cafeteria and see if you don't lose your hair." I was just like, spoken like a true Midwestern dude. They're trying to paint him. Vance is trying to paint him any way he wants to. The dude was born in Nebraska and he lives in Minnesota. I'm sorry, man, but it's really hard for you to fucking, darling, I love you, but give me Park Avenue. That dude's exactly who the fuck he says he is.
Authentic, yeah.
Yeah.
So let's get back to SummerSlam. So who else do you talk to of the younger folks? Who else do you feel is avoiding you? Maybe is anyone kind of not coming over to you?
Man, number one, that the fucking size, the size of an NFL arena, and you basically have carte blanche at the whole bottom of it. So and it's usually when you're there to do something, they take you around a golf cart. But catering to the elevators was fucking 100 yards, so to the box. So it was.
All right, who are you working out with? I know you were at the gym, so at a hotel.
I
so
was working out by myself. Rhea came in. I talked to her. She was a lot tinier than I thought she'd be.
Interesting.
She didn't have any makeup on. She's a really attractive woman.
Mm-hmm.
But she's much smaller than I thought she was. We talked about shoulders and shit. And I just said,
How's she feeling? Is
she said she felt good. And of course they did some pretty good spots in the fucking match.
Mm-hmm.
And then when she rammed her fucking shoulder into the scoring table to put it like the Mel Gibson Lethal Weapon, to jack it back in the fucking socket. She did that spot, and I was just like, fuck, man, I don't know if I'd fucking test it that fucking much, or is it really fucking out? And she's like this much of a badass, no matter what. Yeah, no matter what. I mean, I'm a fucking fan. I thought their match I thought they had a great opening match.
I liked the turn too, the little swerve.
Yeah, I liked it all, and especially and Dom goes all in. I mean, I don't give a fuck how cool your wife is. You fucking swap and spit in front of fucking 70,000 people with a fucking a blonde woman.
He's committed. He was committed.
Well, I'm just saying he's taking a fucking shitload of fucking. That's that fucking get home quiet heat when you're trying to have a conversation. Then you fucking try to fucking romance the Stone, and they fucking turn it up another notch. And then that's when I saw one the other day. Was this guy in the car? He's got somebody sent it to me. It was an Instagram thing, and the guy's at the zoo, and the kid, she's talking to the kid, and he goes up to say something. She goes, well, we're not talking to you. He goes, what? And it goes on and on and on, and finally they're in the car ride home, and the dude's driving. He's got a tattoo right here, and he's like, he goes on about, well, I'm perfectly fine with the fact that you're not talking to me, and it just kind of ends that way, this thing. And my response was, I said, she's not talking to you, stupid fuck, because you got face tattoos. I was just like, who the fuck puts shit like this on the internet? And why? Because that makes me watch it, and I watched the stupid thing. I went, oh, that's the meaning? That's what you got?
And then you're pissed at yourself for giving 30 seconds to
yeah, it's just fuck. But
you must have spent...
I just want to say real quick before I forget. So I got a chance to, was talking to Paul, got a chance to see Stephanie, who looks amazing. She's been doing jiu-jitsu. She looks like she's ready to fucking get in the cage. But she looks amazing. And I saw the middle and the youngest daughter. And it was like Paul had to do the open of the show. And he's like, he's talking to us, and he looks down, and he goes, and like there's somebody standing there with a headset on. He goes, I got to start the show. And he's got makeup on his fucking, so he's got to change his shirt. And he said, I got to go. And as he's going, the kids are going the opposite way with me to the door, and with Pac. And the girls turn around and go, we love you, Daddy. We're so proud of you. And he says, thanks. It was just like, I was just like, see, man, like, I don't think if COVID doesn't hit and Stephanie doesn't say, fuck this, I'm raising my kids, like, if all those things don't happen, like, they fucking, they're like the super most powerful couple in professional wrestling, and they've got three, they did it right. They got three great kids. It's just like, God bless you, man.
Yeah. Did you get to, how much time did you spend around Paul? I mean, you must have been busy as fuck.
Minutes, man. Just and we say the same thing every time we all run into each other. We got to take some time. And I look at that now. I look at him and go, bitch, I got nothing but. I'm not the one I watch on Instagram.
It's you.
Yeah. I'm not the one on Instagram fucking having to, get off a private into a limo, go someplace, a fucking bunch of people screaming next to some other event where they're fucking selling your shit, and you're gonna be streaming there next, and blah blah. I said I have my podcast and my trips to the gym. I said that's what I'm doing right now.
You know Paul pretty well, so how old is he? He's
55.
55, okay.
10 years apart.
So you think he'll do this forever?
No.
You don't.
No.
He will retire at some point. It's just so in his blood. Like, what is he going to do? Sit home? Like, what is he going to do? You don't think he'll do this till he drops?
No, I mean, I think who do you, my whole thing would always be, who do you fucking, but it's a different company now. It's not like it used to be. Like, he doesn't own it.
No, but his responsibilities are massive, and he
yeah,
has.
But so are his responsibilities. He already had a health scare.
Yeah,
you know, like I'm sure that he realizes shit that 55-year-old guys realize that 45-year-old guys don't, is holding your grandkid. Now you start at 55, you start planning because you got one going to college. So you're going to be a grandfather. You need to. That's going to happen if you hit 65. So, shit changes, man.
Who would be the heir apparent that could do it?
I think her name's Murphy. There's one of the three girls is a little pistol.
Oh, you think it would stay in the family?
Oh, that would be, yeah.
Does Shane come to these things?
No, I thought he signed with AEW. No.
That was big news 4 weeks ago.
Yeah.
To which you offered a shrug and nothing more.
I've been around a long time.
If you've been around a long time, Kevin, then you know that throughout your day, you sometimes need different things. Like perhaps maybe you like to sleep a little more easily. That's always a concern for me, sleep, right? So maybe if someone somewhere, if some company had something for sleep, or maybe for those moments that require high love, or
you gotta find
we just want to elevate.
Yeah, that's
Kev's jam.
That's my jam, baby.
What the hell am I talking about? What the hell am I holding here? I'm holding VIIA. VIIA is my complete and Kevin's complete gummy kit to get through my goddamn day. Kev, how you feeling today? Did you VIIA?
I took 2 relieves early. Those are like the charcoal black ones. And then I took 2 of the what are they, elevates or boosts? What do they call it? What's the orange?
The elevate.
The orange one, yeah. You see, it's like either revive.
This is the revive. This is
yeah.
My wife took this the other day. She was in some discomfort, and this one is THC free.
Right.
And she took that.
I took that because I trained back today, so I went to the gym. I took that, and then when I got out of the gym, I had my protein shake and I had 2 of the orange.
The Elevate?
Yeah, the Elevate for the.
Throughout the day, I enjoy a flow state to get my jam on. Flow state, by the way, is designed to support brain function and enhance focus. And if I'm writing all day, I sometimes need that little boost.
Is there THC in that one?
That one there isn't.
Yeah, that's why I don't take it.
So I have to. Yeah, the writing gets a little tough if there's anything else working other than the CBD. They are curated. The care that's put into the product. I mean, curated for me. What the hell am I talking about? Have I piqued your interest enough, general public? I hope I have. if your summertime sadness is creeping in maybe, or the heat's impacting your focus, you're looking for some levity, you want to embrace life with your hands on the wheel, enhance your everyday with VIIA. It's a company dedicated to harnessing the natural benefits of hemp to create high-quality wellness products, from setting the mood in the bedroom to chilling out after a long day. That VIIA kit I have has something for me and something for everybody. It's award-winning THC and THC-free gummies, okay? VIIA has a dosage to encourage your comfort. No need to block off hours of the day where, you may have an unproductive high when you experience the full spectrum benefits from the hemp products. Maybe a microdose of THC to give you a little boost so you don't compromise your responsibilities. They thought of it all, okay? They're well-renowned for their premium indoor THCA flower, soothing topicals, calming drops. That gummy kit I have is unbelievable. Best part, VIIA ships legally to all 50 states with discreet packaging to your door and a worry-free guarantee. No medical card needed. Trusted by over 500,000 happy customers for their wellness needs, VIIA is the brand everyone's raving about. So if you're 21 and you need a gummy system like I have, my whole day goddamn planned out in a box, God help them. God love them. Check out our link, okay, to VIIA's website in the description. Go down right there in the description, or if you're listening, go to your phone. Not if you're driving. Wait till you hit a red light. We're going to give you 15% off, okay, to try this. And, they have 0 THC products, okay? If the CBD line and CBD extensions are what you're after, if you do prefer the THC, their products range from 0 milligrams to 100 milligrams, okay? And over 500,000 customers served. If you're 21 plus, check out the link to VIIA in our description. Use the code KLIQ, KLIQ, to receive 15% off after you purchase. They ask you where you heard about them. Please support this damn show and tell them we sent you, okay? Enhance your everyday with VIIA. No joke. When I told Kevin these were coming, he was like, okay. And today he wrote me, he's like, taking them every day. You have to reorder already, you said, right?
No, my whole thing is, man, like, I'm so proud of the fact that it's just, for some reason, people that want to be advertisers with us are people that sell products that I would purchase. And I know for a fact that this will be, when I run out of this, I will reorder. I mean, they came on here and got a customer.
Yeah.
I would definitely, because I just, it's euphoric. It's spot on. I'm productive. It's just, it just makes me happy.
Well, I'm low on my dreams, man. Look at that. This is the THC one I take before I go to sleep. It's called Dreams, obviously designed to help me sleep. Let's take one of these now. Well, let me time myself out. I'm going to do the Shawn Michaels and Kevin Nash here. When is it? 8:20. You figure that I'll kick in about 45 minutes. I'll be signing off. Ready to open a book and doze off. So everybody.
God, I fell asleep. Is there 2 Reacher films on Netflix right now? It's Tom Cruise's Reacher.
Oh, you're asking the wrong guy. Wes, where are you? No, he's in a blackout. Steve, are there 2 Reacher films? New releases?
No, these are old. But
Oh.
I swear there's the one where it starts out where he gets in a fight and he beats these locals up. But I'm just wondering if I started watching it again last night, and it started off completely different. And I'm just like,
there are 2 Jack Reacher films. There's the 2012 Jack Reacher and then 2016's Jack Reacher Never Go Back.
You thought you had so much VIIA, you actually changed the opening of the film.
No, I watched what had happened is I watched the first one, didn't realize there were 2 on. Last night, said, "Fuck it, I'll just start it again from the beginning," and it's a completely different beginning. I'm just like, what the fuck? And I mean, he's so not Reacher. Like the fucking cat that plays Reacher on what's that, Hulu, right?
Mm-hmm.
That motherfucker. He's Jack Reacher.
Some folks listened last week, like Mike M., who said the podcast is to expect the unexpected. Whenever you want wrestling talk or not, there's always something for wrestling and non-wrestling fans alike. Keep on being you, Kevin and Sean. Thank you, Mike. That's kind of the
So, you
formula.
want any more SummerSlam?
Yeah, let me just get some. I want to actually ask you about some matches too.
All right.
I want to get your take on the event, but I wanted to get some backstage stuff up front there first. Trailer Park Cinderella said Nash's Patrick from SpongeBob impression was hilarious. Thank you.
I do some good Patrick.
Titus and Doomsday Dayton DC. Listen, I'm conservative Christian and I listen every week. If it gets a little too eye-rolly for me, I just skip up a few minutes. It's that simple. Love listening, but I'm not hating anyone over those liars in Washington. Anyone. Y'all like identifying conservatives in a certain way, but all the conservatives I know are far from y'all's stereotypes. I thought Titus had a point, and I'm as guilty as anyone of kind of doing the bucket thing, right? And so I did write him back, and I said, listen, you know what it is? The douchebags are always the loudest ones in the room, right? So you walk out with your impression of the party you were just at based on that. And I know, listen, I've voted conservatively too in my life. There are tenets of both sides that I find desirable, and then there are ones that I find very undesirable. And we say this all the time. I think most people gravitate towards that middle bar. Some from here, you may lean one side consistently, but like deregulation in its extremes, I think is wrong. It leads to problems. But I'm all for the conservative concept of less government interference in your life. Sign me up for that every time somebody speaks some logic with that. I don't think filth should be belched into the sky without monitoring and some kind of regulation in every industry. I'm just pulling the pollution one because it's most accessible. But yeah, Titus, I think that I think you have a point. Not all conservatives behave, and not all conservatives are down with what's going on right now in Washington, right, Kev?
I mean, the pro-life, pro-choice thing, it's one of those things where if you're pro-choice, then that's great, and you're I mean, that's I think should we not have choices when it comes to our own health care? I mean, I'm not a woman, but I believe that she has the right to determine what's done with her body, especially when birth control pills are not 100%, you know. So if somebody's trying not to get pregnant, and I know with the Catholicism will tell them that they need either use the rhythm method or just, you know.
Yeah, well, what Catholicism what the Vatican has to say about sexual
abstinence.
Behavior, first of all.
Yeah, but it's always like, we just don't do it. I'm like, well, all right, I won't do it, but can we get like the prostate fucking drugs dropped from on the government, like $1? If you don't nut, your prostate's gonna.
Well, you could do yourself, right? Is that still a sin?
I think it is.
It's still a sin. Okay.
I'm sure somebody thinks it is.
Loads for anything but procreation, a sin. I'm a bad Catholic. I don't remember any of that shit. Bronx PC Tech was listening, Kev. He said, in the hospital with a bad cellulitis infection and the latest show is helping a lot. The line about Samartino on Peacock happened while a nurse is taking my blood, and I busted out laughing. Also, I'm a conservative. Lighten up, fuckers. It's entertainment. Smile. All right, Bronx, I hope you feel better. Cellulitis. I didn't look it up. So I can't speak to your condition. Do you remember the Samartino on Peacock comment? I don't remember anything. Sounds like a good one. Jasmine Briggs. Love the rant from Kevin about working hard for what he has, staying disciplined without typing and whining about it. That's the kind of tough love that lots of people out there need to hear.
Yeah, I just wish people would fucking just man the fuck up every once in a while. I saw a thing today, some guy made a comment on my Instagram.
Mm-hmm.
And I usually spend like 2 or 3 minutes on anything. And then it's just like, I just don't want to spend time on it. And the guys, it was a picture I put up, comment. I just looked at to see what the latest comment was. And the guy said, yeah, what are you going to do when she starts World War III? So I pull up the guy's fucking, his profile picture. The guy's like some thin dude with a t-shirt on, just a regular looking dude, but like his arms are big around as a fucking hot dog. And like, and what are you gonna do if there's fucking World War III, bitch? I mean, fuck, like, what is he bitching about? Like, why would you fucking bitch to bring attention to yourself? That's like the one guy that told me something was like, do you ever train legs? Some shit. Do you ever train legs? And I'm thinking like, okay, this guy's has to got like a picture of him somewhere with like great legs. I fucking pull up the picture of this fucking guy. I swear to God, he's got the body of a 12-year-old fucking girl. He's got those like fat things behind his knees. If he didn't have a crack in his ass, you reckon there wouldn't be a cut on his body. And he's white as a fucking ghost. I'm like, why would you possibly comment to me knowing that I'm 65 years old and in a bodybuilding contest, I would beat you fucking, like, you wouldn't get a point. And I'm 65 years old. Like, shut the fuck up, man.
You should have known better to even think that he was in good condition, because nobody that does work out like that would criticize another bodybuilder who spends time in the gym, right?
Be like fucking going through fucking, get a little gyno there, bro. Ah, fuck it. He's running gear. Fucking let him figure out the hard way.
Off Some Thrax said, not sure if you guys are aware, but Gargano's restaurant from the known Kevin Nash
saw this.
pasta
I saw
interview
this.
burnt down a couple of weeks ago.
I saw that. That's Jimmy's mom and dad's place.
Yes, I didn't know that. Is that in Connecticut? Where is that?
God, I forget.
Massachusetts. Was he from Massachusetts? Northeast somewhere, right?
Yeah, it's definitely
Ohio.
Northeast.
Not even fucking close. Dom, thank you. I assume everybody with a vowel at the end of the name lives over here, I guess. I don't know.
Yeah, but that restaurant wasn't in Ohio.
Dom just wrote Ohio. Let's see. Someone look it up over there and let us know. I need to vindicate myself. Kev, last night we taped something very cool that our Kliq This TV 11 soft subscribers were able to be a part of. And that was a show that we did entirely with Violent J on the panel here.
So that was fun.
Yeah, definitely. And if you want to be part of cool stuff like that, you guys will see it eventually. You'll see it eventually, the general public. But right now, it's just for our friends over there at Kliq This TV. You can go to kliqthisTV.com, all right? Join the club. You get that. You get all these programs. You get them early. You get them without ads and all things that you would love. All right, Kev, here's the card. Here's SummerSlam. I want to know what your impressions were as you were watching. What do we have? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 matches? 6 matches? What am I missing here? First of all, I want to ask you about Punk and McIntyre. That was obviously what most of us were looking.
That was the one I was the most interested in watching. You know, Phil definitely, he hasn't worked he didn't work in a long time when he worked. Like, he came back off an injury, worked that fucking Royal Rumble, and it was injured again.
Correct.
And like, when there was that physicality between Punk and McIntyre, Punk wasn't cleared yet. Like, they hadn't cleared him yet. At one point McIntyre dumped him because I think Punk said, "Put me down," and McIntyre dumped him, and fucking, I know that fucking that the person told me that they were right next to Paul, and Paul was not real happy with that whole fucking, like, Jesus, dude, like. So he wasn't cleared, and that was maybe 3 or 4 weeks ago.
Yeah,
so,
it was recent.
Yeah, so for him, and he's not a fucking spring chicken. For him, like, you can't get in ring shape besides getting in the ring. There's just no other way about it. So unless Punk's going to go on the road and
build up to this,
by
putting in
you're
the hours,
and you're not going to do that at your age with the fucking wear and tear that you've got. So you go to the PC or wherever. I don't know where he went, but he went somewhere, and the problem with that is when you get to a certain point in your life, it's like you can't fucking go to the fucking performance center and go through it. Like, you can't go 100%. There's no people there. There's no incentive. It's like, so you can run the ropes, you can do tackle spots, you can work on your off, but you're not going to go out there and fucking do a bunch, and you're definitely not going to bump as much as you would in a normal match. So,
and the schedule's not such now that you can do 5 house shows a week.
Nope.
Off TV to get ready for what's happening in a month.
And then anything that you do, I mean, the whole thing is that you can't put him against Drew. So anybody he's working with on the circuit looks like a B team warm up. Like, it's almost like he's getting ready, because I don't think Drew was working on the house shows during that time.
There aren't enough of them either, where they'd be able to not be on television and work that consistently. Yeah. What about the use of Seth? What did you think about?
I think it was. I thought the promo work that Phil and McIntyre did going in was, like, really strong, and the psychology of how they wrestled the match didn't fit the build-up. I thought they would just go at each other, like, right off the bat, and it'd just be a brawl. They'd fight everywhere. I thought that's what they were going to do. By bringing Seth out there, he's over enough, and he's been around enough where it's just like they're outside doing spots, and he's in the middle of getting the people to go, whoa. And I'm like, not on the same page.
Right. But I did like when he did the laid on the ropes and let whatever happen. I thought that was cool.
No, I mean, he played his character, but it's just like, it just, they're going to get as much as they can out of that angle. They weren't going to pay it off at SummerSlam. That's for damn sure. Now when you're getting a clean in the finish, and I mean, Gunther was clean. I mean, they're all not clean, but technically they're clean. And so, yeah, it's just, I don't think it was I don't think anybody was happy with that match that was involved in it. Put it together. I was disappointed from just a spectator standpoint, but from one of the boys' standpoint, that's come back from injuries. That's about, and you're not fucking 30. That's a tough road for Phil. And, you know, to fucking, I don't give a fuck who you are, how many times you've done it. You're going out in front of 57,000 people at SummerSlam and you ain't worked in 9 months, you cannot get your fucking lips off your teeth. Your dry mouth is a motherfucker. It's like.
Did you talk with him at all?
No, I didn't get a chance to talk to him. I was hoping I did.
So
I saw him for a split second walk in front of me, and he was like noticeably was bigger than I've seen him. That's the biggest I've ever seen him.
Biggest
physically.
Okay.
Yeah.
Working out biggest.
Yeah, he was still soft in the middle, which I was kind of, but some guys just don't, just genetically just don't.
Mm-hmm. Let me ask you a question, though. In the context of coming back from the injury, I get it. I get what you're saying and what's being asked of him his first match back. But what about in the context of his having said, like, the long-term contract comment, working there forever.
Yeah,
doing Shawn Micahels' job soon.
Well, and that was my whole thing. Like, and I said it to a couple of people that, that we were talking about that match after it was over. I was down at the bar and I was talking to some different people. And I said,
industry people?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah. And I said, not trying to be a dick or anything, but maybe you get your pitch fucking count up to 30 before you ask for a 6-year extension. Like, fucking hell, man. Like, that's the best I got. You want 6 more years of that? No. Good.
Right. So how about the Damian? The only surprise I really had on this show for me was the Gunther clean.
Wasn't really clean.
Cleanish.
I think it's like one of those things, God, and I hate to be this guy, but when you're watching those matches, man, you got nothing to do but pick it apart. And, like, Damian gave Gunther that fucking choke slam. He didn't give it close enough to the ropes. So in order to do that fucking spot, he had to roll him like 1.5 times.
To get to the rope.
Yeah, to get to the point where this is nitpicky as fuck, but these are 2 small little things that I would have changed. I would have fucking, when I saw that there was too much distance for me to fucking stick him, like, pretty much, you're going to have to stick him on a fucking hard part of the fucking, the ring. And I think that's one of the things that Damian was trying to do, was trying to figure out a way, you want to take care of the fucking guy, but you know that fucking psychology-wise, you fucking, he's not going to roll from a fucking choke slam.
Mm.
The sell is just you get planted, so
right.
So any movement towards the rope you're going to have to fucking do it, and so you got to sacrifice him, but then at the same time, like, Finn should have came in almost and fucking grabbed the leg where he fucking saw it
and pulled it out.
Pulled in. I mean, he should have fucking, because he fucking does the thing I hate more than anything. If Finn's right there and he's fucking doing that, you just fucking react. You don't need a fucking false on that. Because the sooner you can get into that, the sooner fucking Gunther can start to recover, and then he's still going to cut you off because that was the spot. Mm-hmm. But you got to fucking, if he could have got a hold of Finn and fucking turned him, dragged him in and fucking had his back to the thing, was fucking nailing him, and then Gunther just came with a fucking side fucking knee and fucking would send Finn sailing, and fucking, and Damian's still in the ring, and you go in your finish from that. and it would have made their thing tighter heat-wise because he fucking put his leg up and he turned his back like I didn't do it. And there's fucking 75-foot fucking giant screens around the whole arena showing the fucking replay.
So something like that, right, where maybe they don't land where they're supposed to. You guys, I'm saying you guys, because when you were in the ring, there's a trust factor that we all know I didn't put him where he's got to be. And I'm not going to roll him because that would look ridiculous. So do you shoot a look to Finn or something? There's got to be that trust that he will jump in and get the leg, right?
Well, if I had to, you could have doubled down. You could have been. It should have been more, I think, more of a sell and not kind of a comeback. Because when he hit him down and then he just didn't grab a leg right there, because if he grabs the fucking inside leg and hooks it, that's still as long as Gunther is. I don't know if he could have fucking even reached the ropes from the initial place he stuck him, because he rolled him like 1.5 times.
But if he got pulled, he could have, right?
But Finn ain't gonna be able to fucking pull that big fucking Australian.
Well,
Austrian. That's
jumps in, grabs the leg, pulls the leg. Ref sees it and goes, "Wow, what the fuck?" Yeah, even if it doesn't make it to the rope.
But at the same time, there's a chance because he's in a fucking faction with Damian that he's helping. He's doing something.
Mm-hmm.
Where you can, it's like he's got. I know he's. The thing was to turn him, and if it was no DQ, which I think it was, then just have him fucking have it blatant. That he turns.
The two of us were on stage, and one of us dropped a line. The other one wouldn't stand there in silence.
Oh, you pick it up.
They would say something to get you back on. And I think that in the ring, it's should be the same thing. Women's title went to Nia Jax from
Nia
Bayley.
Jax is a version of Andre the Giant. She's just a beautiful fucking facially, she's just
the beautiful Andre the Giant.
Yeah, she's the beautiful Andre the Giant. She is such a beautiful girl. Every time I see her, I'm just like, wow, she's such. Man, her face is just.
And
but
she's
so fucking much bigger. It's just like, you know what I mean? Like fucking Bayley. Bayley did great shit, and Bayley fucking can work, and Bayley's over. It's just that, man. It's not believable.
It's tough to overcome.
Yeah, it's just, man. She's just.
You can't beat her. Who'd you beat? Who's beating her on the roster right now?
I mean,
right?
no one. Charlotte Flair at 5'10", probably, is your best bet against her.
Could do a smart type of booking there to make
Charlotte's. I saw Charlotte back at the Performance Center with a knee brace on, she's getting ready to fucking make a return. That's what you forget, man. Like, people like that they're not on TV right now.
Yeah, right, exactly.
That's a top tier.
We talked about Rhea before. U.S. Championship was Logan Paul and L.A. Knight.
I thought it was a solid match. Mm-hmm. I thought it was a solid match. I thought the no sell of the fucking to establish on a, and I you guys realize I'm looking at a fucking, I don't know how big that screen is I'm looking at, because the monitor in the fucking in our box wasn't working, so I had to look above the ring at those fucking screens to see what was going on, and they clearly show Machine Gun Kelly hand him. They weren't brass knucks; they were actually fucking metal or steel or whatever.
Mm-hmm. And
but
Go ahead.
He hit fucking the LA Knight with him, and I mean, to me, it's just like, how you hit somebody with brass knuckles? How the fuck did explain to me how that guy didn't win?
Well, the question I would have is, why have the brass knuckles? It doesn't have
It didn't mean
cause the
anything.
finish, but it should have been something that affected the outcome of the match, or whatever spot you were going to, if it wasn't going to be the finish. It just seemed so inconsequential. It was like it was ignored 30 seconds after it was used.
Yeah, I'll tell you one thing he did from the camera angle was he did like a top rope brain buster on Logan. And man, that looked like that was one of those another foot the other way, and that's a bad fucking deal. But he's a big old jacked up fucker. LA Knight's a big strong dude.
Yeah, I was wondering when I saw it, I was like, ooh, was this a blown spot? Was something supposed to happen that we didn't? It just seemed like nobody would.
And I think what happens a lot of times too is, I mean, people forget that Logan Paul's had like a handful of matches. So who knows, you know, who knows if LA Knight had, you know, a different idea of where things were going to go, and all of a sudden, man, you know, there's only so much fucking touch-up paint you can do on the fucking fly.
Mm-hmm.
So maybe I don't know. So that's why. Again, I'm not going to say anything. You know, it's just I don't know. I don't know whose fault was. I wasn't out there.
Yeah, no, but it stuck out to me as well.
Yeah.
With my 0 matches in the ring, it stuck out to me as well. Intercontinental Championship. How fucking great does Braun Breaker look?
Oh, it's fantastic.
It's pretty ridiculous, right?
I was just hoping that on Monday, after he won it after on Raw, would come out there and cut a promo saying, "Oh, by the way, I'm the Intercontinental Champion, and I think I have the right to say that I'm not Braun Breaker. I'm Braun Steiner."
Oh, right.
You shoot his dad and his uncle, the Steiner brothers.
Exactly. They put the shot.
It's like how is he? I understand that Vince did it, but I would hope that Paul would
find a way.
I would just sit him down. But my whole thing is they did it so they'd own him. So what's the difference if you're more comfortable? I had breakfast with Bron on Friday, and I just said, "Have you tried to get your name back?" And he
knew Tristan, just to back to you, the history you have with Robbie and
he was a lot younger, but T fucked around. They hung out,
right?
Yeah.
So you had breakfast with him.
Yeah, I had breakfast with him, and he's just such a happy, nice guy. You know, he's just a good fucking just a fucking jock, man. Like just a fucking jock. But like I said, I would hope that, and I would come to Braun. I'd say, we're gonna call you Braun Steiner, but this is like right now we own that, so we have to own the Steiner, which is still not his legal name.
Well, I was going to say they can because it's not his real last
name.
Right.
It's Rick Steiner.
Yeah.
You know, he's Bronson Rick Steiner. So it's like, I just think that by making him Steiner, which is already, I'm sure, trademarked by fucking WWE because of their careers at both places.
Right.
Like all that you know. They put him in the Hall of Fame, so I mean that's all. You've got to be pretty much part of the family.
What about Cody? Cody's match.
He's super over. I just don't like He walked out of his trailer with a dog, and they went into a small little story about how this dog was his best friend and been on the road with him, and this was going to be the last last trip that he made. He handed that dog off and went over to a black seamstress who donned his Captain America outfit and adorned him with a skull, nightmare mask.
Yes.
And he walked through the curtain. He walked about 10 feet, stopped, took the mask off.
Is there a malfunction or something?
Stopped it to the ground, and it was synced with the music. That whole thing, and then go to the ring glad handing like you're one of the Bay City Rollers. I mean, just kind of glad handed his way down to this guy that's supposed to be a killer, and you're trying to draw money with him. To me, if he would have put the mask on, and these are like tiny, tiny, tiny fucking things, man. But if he would have just put the mask on and not touched the people and walked down there and got in the ring and fucking just squared off with that motherfucker, then slowly fucking peeled that fucking mask off and fucking show your intensity and where you're not fucking like smiling and you want to kill this motherfucker because you're the undisputed world fucking champion and you don't want him to fucking take your shit because you just told a whole fucking story and you just got the final chapter of that story and you started a new fucking book. Come on. I don't want to see you fucking take pictures on the way to the ring to a fucking undisputed championship. And I know it's a fucking work. I did this shit. So I mean, you go out there and you have your match, you have a good solid fucking match. And at the end of it, you had some run-ins, which made it fucking like, it's all because it's kind of like a mini WrestleMania. They've got to have their moments. So they're going to have the return of KO, the return of Randy. The one fucking Tonga kid, he looked like he fucking hurt himself. I'd read on some of the sites where he had hurt his leg when he did the dive off on Cody. But just that was a solid match. Cody's shit looks good. All his punches, he throws good solid punches. Like everything he does is just, and the people like him. Like the people believe in him. So I get it that all that's like the hoopla beforehand. I just would personally like to see him as my champion, which he is fucking like go with that fight perception.
Attitude.
Like you're a champion. Yeah, you fucking worked your ass off. I mean, in a shoot, you worked your ass off to get where you're at. When they wanted to make you fucking Stardust and every fucking other fucking thing, and now you're the fucking man. You're selling merch like a motherfucker, and just pick your places to be the guy selling merch. I don't want it on the way down to SummerSlam. And then when at the end of the night, I'm thinking, spectacle fucking mid like 9.5 for a spectacle, like being there and going like, wow, this is fucking pro wrestling. This is Cleveland in a fucking football stadium. And then you look at it from entertainment standpoint. It was entertaining. You had your celebrities. Everybody that's a celebrity now is A-list. You had Jelly Roll there. You had Machine Gun. So I fucking huge shout out to Theory for the athleticism of taking his own choke slam off Jelly Roll's choke slam. That motherfucker got some air, and I know
getting up for him.
I mean, that fucking. I think that kid's like, he kind of got lost in the shuffle. He was kind of Vince's boy, I think he'll be fine. They'll find a spot for him. He just got to put his time in. And he did exactly what he should, man. The other guy bailed. He did the fucking Scott Hall. He staggered around selling it and fucking came to just as he was in front of the deal, and he took the fucking bump. And those are the things that when you're sitting in the back, you're like, didn't really have anything for him to do. We kind of gave him a fucking job spot. He fucking, not only did he do it, but he excelled. He showed a great attitude. He showed he was appreciative to be there. And it's just like, fuck, I can do something with that kid.
Right.
So
on the whole, what grade does it? Does it get an A, a B, a C?
I give it a B because the things that I picked out are very nitpicky.
Mm-hmm.
I give it a solid B. I don't know where I would have gave it had Roman not came out.
Oh, we didn't address that, but I guess we should.
Yeah. I mean, that to me was, if you were at SummerSlam and you came up to somebody who said, hey, man, did you go to SummerSlam? And that person said no, then the first thing out of your mouth would be, well, fucking Roman Reigns came back in Cody's match and was a babyface. He fucking
that was the take. So that was the takeaway of the night for the fans.
For me, like when he did the fucking deal like this, before he fucking did the spear, I looked over at fucking Kid and I said, the only thing missing are the marks where they fucking had him nailed to the cross. I mean, it was like the return of Jesus Christ. And those people, man, like he's at a different level than the rest of their talent, I think. He looked amazing. He looked absolutely amazing. He's got such a great look.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
Looks like something out of fucking King Conan, just.
So where is he with everything now? Is he,
Well, he made $800,000 selling belts, so.
Oh, the special signed edition belt that they sold there?
Yeah, Roman Reigns.
We did a little math before the show, as Kevin is known to do.
$444 a belt. For a grand total sell-off of $800,000 in 1 hour. See, selling $800,000 worth of belts, that's huge. Selling $800,000 worth of belts in an hour, obviously a little bit of demand there. Probably could have made $5 to $10 million.
Yeah,
brother, don't take it now, brother. Wait till you get on the indie scene. It'll be all yours, brother. 100%, 05% shit.
Kev, it's time for Florida Man or Jersey Guy.
All right.
And
we had a different one last night.
Last night we had Florida Man or Detroit
Guy.
In a few weeks, you will all see how Violent J and Kev did on that vote. Kevin's record's intact, I'll tell you that. But tonight may be a different story. We'll see, because we go back to Jersey Guy. Let me tell everyone that this segment is, of course, sponsored by Blue Chew, a sponsor that needs no introduction. If you've seen the ads, you've heard us talk about it a million times, and I bet there's a big part of you, no pun, that wants to try it. What am I talking about? I'm talking about Blue Chew, okay? This is not your grandpa's blue pill. This is the one, the OG chewable tablet for better action. Okay, Blue Chew's that unique online service that delivers the same active ingredients as Viagra, Cialis, and Levitra, but at a fraction of the cost and in chewable form. The best thing about this, other than the fact that the shit works, is the process. It's all done online. You go to bluechew.com right now, consult with one of their licensed medical providers, and in minutes you're approved and you get the prescription within days. Okay, it all happens invisible to any effort from you. You can do it all from the couch. No visits to the pharmacy, etc. Take them anytime, day or night, and you're just going to be ready when the opportunity arises. Okay, Blue Chew wants the entire country rock hard That is the mission. They will not stop until every man is bricked up, every tent is pitched, every rod is raised, okay? We want you to go to BlueChew.com and discover your options. And special deal for your first month, try Blue Chew free when you use the promo code NASH, N-A-S-H, NASH. Just pay $5 for shipping. That's BlueChew.com, promo code NASH, to receive your first month free. Visit BlueChew.com for more details and important safety information. And we thank Blue Chew for sponsoring Florida Man or Jersey guy. Here it is, 2 headlines, Kev. Ready? First one, man assaults mom with spaghetti sauce, hides in bushes from police. Second one, violent passenger says he ate 10 weed edibles, tried opening the plane doors during a flight. Man assaults mom with spaghetti sauce, hides in bushes from
Okay,
police.
I'm gonna go completely stereotypical here and say that the Sopranos with the spaghetti sauce definitely weren't Florida guys. Those were Jersey guys. So I'll say Jersey guy with tomato, and then anybody fucking eating weed wanting to open the door. That could be any state, but I'll pick Florida, even though it's not legal. I mean, we can get medical down here.
Kevin, you went opposite what I thought you were going to do, because any self-respecting person from up here is not calling it spaghetti sauce. I purposely looked for an indicator in this one. I was like,
so yeah, you guys say sauce.
You could say tomato sauce. You could say marinara. Some people call it gravy. I never did.
But the thing is they said it wasn't
spaghetti sauce.
Yeah, but it wasn't them. It was some reporter that was making this comment.
In Florida, from Fox 5 Orlando.
Yeah.
Who would have said spaghetti sauce?
All right. Lose again.
All right, back with Kliq This, the Kevin Nash podcast. Two of the best smelling cats in the podcast industry. My money's going on that. Whether you think we're entertaining or not is up to personal taste, but no one's going to deny that Kevin's taint is fresh and florid. Kev, you can't get down there to check probably at your size, so maybe you could ask Cooper.
No, but I can do the fucking the scratch.
The swipe?
Yeah, the scratch your fingers on your taint, sniff.
That's hot. Violent J, if you're listening. You must be chubbed right now. Guys, let's talk about packing for a trip. Okay, this is summer, so we need to get our stuff in there. Maybe you're somebody who packs too much. I try to go as light as possible because I live with 3 other women. And if I get a half a suitcase and I don't want to have to carry 4 on a plane, then I'm lucky. So you got to decide. Are you taking the tiny shampoo bottles, a little thing of face wash? Do you get a special size thing, or do you pour it into another container, which becomes a nightmare? Simplify your travel with Mando's 4-in-1 acidified cleansing bar. Okay, it's a 5-ounce bar. It does the work of shampoo, face wash, body wash, and deodorant. Can you believe this thing? All right. You could use it to create just that rich shaving lather on your fotch. So you know what? If you think about it, if you're using it for a shaving cream also, then it's a 5-in-1 bar, let's call it. Okay, it's clinically proven to control odors wherever you use it for 24 hours. Okay, their 4-in-1 acidified cleansing bar is formulated with a gentle alpha hydroxy acid. It stops odor at the source. Okay, regular soap can't do this because pH too high in the soap. Don't ask me the science behind this, but it's been clinically proven. So I'm going to repeat it. All right, this is going to simplify your hygiene routine. And really, it's the only thing you need to pack. All right, when you think about it, for your bathroom section in there, you throw the bar, you get it all. It's available in 3 cologne quality scents. Mount Fuji, that's their fresh and woodsy. Bourbon leather is sweet and sophisticated. Pro Sport is clean and citrusy. I have the bottle of Pro Sport upstairs. I need to invest in that bar next. All right, so guys, here's how we're doing it. It's seriously safe to use anywhere on your body. Okay, we're talking pitch pits, package, belly button, butt cracks, anywhere that you feel needs the help. So it's perfect for new customers. Get the starter pack also, okay? It comes with solid stick deodorant, cream tube deodorant, 2 free products of your choice, like a mini body wash or deodorant wipe. And listen, you're going to get hooked on what is the best-smelling whole-body deodorant on the market. New customers are going to get $5 off a starter pack with our exclusive code that equates to over 40% savings off your starter pack. Use the code KLIQ, K-L-I-Q, at shopmando.com, shopmando.com. Thank you, Mando. Truly a great product, Kev. You've gotten creative.
I had some on this. I had a little Mando on this weekend.
Yeah, I Mandoed.
It was scorching in Cleveland. It's everywhere though.
So Mando, you were at SummerSlam, just so you know.
Yes, Mando was at SummerSlam.
Hashtag Ask Nash is how you can get to the big guy. To get an audience with Kevin is not to be taken lightly. So if you can do it by doing hashtag Ask Nash, like Liu Young-Oh did when they asked, "I'm curious if Kevin got his deal with Panini sorted out with the wrestling card autographs. Us collectors hope to see him in the set, but don't let him screw you out of any cashola, sexy. Thanks."
On my son's soul, I got a check from them today.
Almost as if Liu Young-Oh knew that this had happened. So things are good with Panini.
Things are wonderful.
Things are wonderful. Okay. That works out good for Kev and you guys. The P. You lived in Arizona and Florida. In either of those places, did you ever encounter a dangerous reptile or arachnid? Also, Sean, my DVR is never over 10% full. You guys are too sweet. Scariest thing you've encountered?
Rattlesnake, back porch. My wife had to stand on we had a built-in barbecue. My wife had to jump up on the built-in barbecue. I've got flip-flops on. It's coiling up and fucking rattling.
Holy shit.
So I go in the back and put on a pair of cowboy boots because everybody knows that they can't bite any higher than mid-calf.
Right. You clearly did your National Geographic
and like
research.
any good Detroit boy, I grabbed a handgun because everybody knows that Sotilio tile and a reptile it probably strikes 6 feet. So I'm like, okay, as I'm running, I went to the back of the house. I'm running back now. I'm clogging in these fucking cowboy boots.
Oh, if any neighbor of Kevin's has video of
I've got a fucking 9mm in my hand. And I'm like, I get to I'm like, I can't do that. Now I got to go across the living room, like the kitchen, through the fucking washer dryer room, into the garage, and grab a hoe. Because I figured I'll grab a hoe.
Yeah.
And that'll give me distance, and because I don't have a sickle or anything like that. So
imagine you did. I mean, how would you explain that?
Fucking. What are the chances?
So does it just leave, or did you kill it?
No. So fucking. Then my fucking dog, I had a Doberman. My dog's like fucking barking at it. I'm trying to keep him the fuck back so he doesn't get bit. And finally, I said, "Fuck it, man!" And I just took it over my head, the fucking hoe, and I whacked the rattlesnake as hard as I could. And he kind of just fucking sold it for a second. And then before he could fucking unsell it, I hit him again. And what I did, he fucking kind of like his fucking head, his body opened up enough where I could stand with my fucking cowboy boot on his neck and then take the end of that motherfucker and just chop it off. And it took fucking several blows to. They're fucking tough as fuck, man. And so I thought my Doberman might have got bit, so I put him in the back of I had an Expedition at the time, and I put him in the back of the truck, And of course, 2 seconds later, he's sitting in the seat next to me because he just climbed over the seats. And I took him to this 24-hour vet place. And I'm like, I think my dog might have been bit. We had a rattlesnake. So she went through him, and she didn't see anything. And we just stayed there for like a half hour, and there was no response or anything like that. And then she comes back out, and she says, so what did you do with the rattlesnake? I said, I chopped his fucking head off. She cuts a promo on me. How the rattlesnakes were in the desert before man. And all
Are
this
you
other...
kidding me?
No, she cuts this fucking beyond tree hugger.
It's not like you went out seeking a rattlesnake. It was pinning your wife and dog and you.
Granted, we're in fucking... Like, we're in... the guy across from me was a dentist. And he was building, his house sat like kitty corner from mine.
Mm-hmm.
And, our houses they were far enough away where like, you'd see somebody, man, they were fucking like 2 inches tall on their fucking porch. But I would drive that way, just I was looking at the development, but the exit was by my house. So I just have to take a right out of my fucking thing, and I make my way to the exit. But you had to enter through the fucking where the gate guy was, so you have to go all the way through the neighborhood. And I saw this guy was going to build a pool because I saw all the white PVC tubing, and they're like probably 12 to 16 feet long, these tubes, and he's got them, and they're in a pyramid. I watched, I saw him get dropped off. So I was walking my dog one night and I had the fucking flashlight gimmick, I was walking my dog, and he was taking his trash down at the end of the street. And it's like the first time I've seen him since they saw me and Tamara had moved in, and they just we were out in front of the house in a rented Cadillac. I was on fucking one of those brick phones, and they saw us, and they pulled up, and they said, what did we think of this neighborhood and shit? I'm just like, fuck, there's like 3 people that live here. But so this is the first time we talked, and I said, did you get your pool in? And he goes, dude, he said, so the pool crew comes, and he said, every time I'm in the backyard, I hear this like rattling, and I'm thinking, is that a rattlesnake? I keep looking around, I don't see anything. He says, the pool workers come, very Hispanic laden pool team, and fuck, man, every one of those tubes that they fucking turned had like a fucking Timberland, fucking those big long, like it was like the whole thing was a fucking rattlesnake fucking like den.
They'd all burrowed into the tubes
into those tubes, and in between them, and oh my god. So it was like they had like, imagine that many rattlesnakes dropped off less than a fucking kilometer from your house.
Now, do the Hispanic? I'm looking for the significance of the Hispanic. Is it? Are they just less fearful of them? So
absolutely, he said they fucking just absolutely no sold it.
Right. Okay.
And
I love that snakes have been assigned the wrestling term of selling tonight twice. Yeah. This is suddenly Cornette's podcast.
Fucking snakes weren't selling. Neither was the fucking Hispanic crew.
The Matt Camp says, when Kev says, "Oh yeah, I got this, what a pittance," and tosses the tag title, was that his line or Vince's? Feels like a Vince word, but sometimes like Kev would have the vocabulary to use it.
So what did I do?
"Oh yeah, I got this, what a pittance," and tosses the tag title.
That's after Shawn kicked me in the chin, right? That was Survivor Series.
Matt Camp. So could you come up with that stuff, or were they giving it to you?
After that, I wish you a Merry Christmas. I tried to keep everything pretty much that came out of my mouth mine as much as possible.
After the wish you a Merry Christmas. Let's see. How about anyone from the audience? Let's get some audience action here. Isaac Riston, not real question, but I used to live in Clinton, Tennessee, and would frequent Big Ed's Pizza. I sent you a DM on this and a video of how it looks on the inside. I doubt it was changed. Is this the place you went to in Clinton, Tennessee? Is that Clinton near where you went to college?
Well, there's a Big Ed's that we used to, I always thought it was in Oak Ridge.
Well, I guess is it a chain maybe?
No, he lives. I think what it is he lives in Clinton, but he used to go to Oak Ridge.
I see.
When I used to, I mean, Ed was still alive. He was just they had fucking some good pie, man. Like that was because it was a haul up to Oak Ridge from Knoxville.
It's all in the dough, brother.
Yeah.
There's a place down by the Florida location that I always give the bagel places a shot to see how you do, right? So there's this one, Kendall's. I go in and I looked at them and I said, okay, how do you do it? And because I know places would ship water from up north to get to treat the bread. However it happens over here, they say it's the minerals up in the hard water up in the Northeast. He said, no, they send the dough. So they make the dough in New York with the New York water. Then it comes there. Then they just have to boil it and bake it.
So I'm taking it they have good bagel.
Yep. Go to Kendall's Bagels. Okay, it is in Oak Ridge.
Yes.
So this is he lives in the adjacent Clinton.
Okay.
Big Ed.
Oh my God, I don't have CTE.
Another question. Ace Ramon, did your opinion of Punk change after seeing the Wembley footage? Because you were helping him for a while and calling him a bully. I personally think Punk was right about things in AEW.
So this question this is that thing that we watched.
Yeah, this is a question for a couple of months ago.
Yeah.
But yeah.
Well, obviously, if you listen to the show tonight, you would see that I have a different opinion of him. So.
Yeah, but we all agreed that the Wembley footage was a very big non-event.
Yeah, it was bullshit. And the thing was, it's like I never understood why you would show something that would get the people to chant CM Punk on your show and make everybody else look like a fucking asshole that's on your show.
Yeah.
I didn't get that.
Anyone else from the audience? Wild Worro. If I must go to the gym twice a day due to being homeless and wanted to be clean, should I do cardio in the AM and lift in the PM, or lift AM and cardio PM?
Lift AM, cardio PM.
There you go. For your hypothetical situation, Wild Worro. Welcome.
Sorry you're homeless, but I mean, at least
but the confusing part is that if I must go to the gym twice a day due to being homeless.
Yeah. So they got showers and shit there. It's way cheaper to come up with a $30 gym membership than it is to fucking stay in a $100 hotel.
All right.
Wild Worro, you can have that gym for a month.
I'm glad you came up with that. Plus the $9.99 for the 11 Soft Club. Apparently to get in here.
If you ain't slept in your car one time in your life because you had to, then you should not be allowed to be called American.
All right, another question from the audience. Give us some love. Where are we here? Hi, Britt. Is wrestlers' hygiene emphasized before going out and cutting a promo? When I see wrestlers have a close face-to-face, I often pray that their breath smells good. How many of the boys were worried about their breath? Maybe like their ass and stuff, like making sure before they went in the ring.
We're the most coffee-drinkingest bunch of motherfuckers on a TV day. If you don't have, it would be and everybody would dip. I used to dip that long cut skull. No,
Did
I used
you
to
really?
actually I used to dip long cut Copenhagen. I used to fucking dip Copenhagen, go to the ring, work with my dip, and then come out of the ring and take a shower and clean my fucking mouth out with the jet of the shower to get all the fucking tobacco. But I'd work fucking 15 minutes with a dip in my mouth.
Unbelievable.
Just swallow it. Just fuck it.
All right, 3 wrestlers. You go to lock up, eyes closed. You're locking up. Tell me who it is. You smell coffee.
Smell coffee? Fuck, that's
strong.
Don't have. I mean,
nobody outdrank anybody in the coffee
No.
arena. And all right, you lock
Benoit
up.
Benoit was a coffee drinking fucker.
You lock up. You smell beer.
Depending on what era.
Oh, God damn it. No one's going to do a background check. Go ahead. Beer, first name that comes to mind.
I mean, of our crew of guys, like Hulk, Scott, myself, Randy, like, I think Kurt.
Okay.
I know, like, we're all guys that, like, we drink. It's part of the ritual of working is to drink a couple of beers before you go out.
Okay. So any of those names.
Yeah.
Work. Lock up and you smell vodka.
Sonny? What?
You lock up. Congratulations for getting in that mixed gender match there. You lock up and you smell tobacco. Cigarettes.
Rude.
That's right. Cock.
Brute.
Lock up and smell cock. Go ahead, Sonny. You're going to do the Sonny again. You can.
I don't know. I don't know exactly what cock smells like.
Good for you.
That sounds like something Norm Macdonald would say, right?
Yeah.
How would you fucking know what a cock smells like?
Even if you get your head down there, would you really be smelling it instead of sucking it?
Yeah, all of a sudden it might taste a little bleach.
All right, who's going to wrap us up? For God's sakes, before we go any further with that. Let's go. Mark Diz, or DZ. When you wrestled Taker at WrestleMania 12, did someone tell you to say, "I'm the shit, man, I'm telling you," or did you say that on your own? A lot of Nash script tonight.
In that era, that was all me. I'd already lost the belt, and I told him show close up so I could say "motherfucker." And there was nothing they could do, man. That's there for life.
Did you get a disapproving look from Papa Vince when you came back? Or?
What was he gonna do? Take the belt away from me?
No, that was just a couple of months later.
No, that was the night.
Oh, WrestleMania, right.
No,
that's right.
The night when I said "motherfucker" was when I lost the belt to Brett. I said after he rolls me up, I said get a close up of me.
Hold on a minute. He asked about a different match.
No, he asked about WrestleMania, but I'm saying, of course.
When you did the
I already
close-up.
I already did the motherfucker thing to set up that.
Back then, they didn't give you shit about that, right? Saying things that
bullshit. They didn't. I got yelled at for flipping off Taker at fucking Royal Rumble.
Oh, I don't. It's not something that would get them like fined by USA Network, but you know, calling someone an idiot or being like,
I said motherfucker, and I said that I'm the shit. I don't think that either of those things were.
No, those would have been.
Yeah, I didn't give a fuck. I was already leaving, and I was the shit. Fuck, look at me.
So if it's true, you have to say
fucking that fucking dark ass hair. Fucking, I mean, just had it done in Venice 3 days before Mania. Tan as fuck. Ate way too much carbs. Gut hanging out. But fucking hanging and banging at Gold's.
Kliq This is a production of Butch and Sundance Media, produced in association with Podcast Heat, created by Tristan Nash, Kevin Nash, and Sean Oliver, producer Steve Kaufman, graphics by Dominic D'Angelo, title sequence and audio edit by Wesley Burleson, theme song by Dale Oliver. You'd never know that those sleep gummies were kicking in. Technical research by Tristan Nash, copyright 2024, Butch and Sundance Media. Kev, want to do another one?
Yeah, maybe next Thursday.
Let us free to fade away into eternity. Circle H, you've come to love me, but now I'm frozen in dead flesh. Oh, Sophie, knew all along it was a trick, but the customer service never answers the thing. Let us free to breathe in air we're supposed to breathe. The twists and turns, you've come to love me. Now I'm cold, I'm frozen. Baby, we're broken, and the customer service never answers a thing. Yeah, the customer service never answers a thing.